for Central Badibu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. I would like to thank the Select Committee for the job done. Madam Speaker, if you look at the mandate of the committee was established to monitor the implementation of the state of public emergency. But by looking at the report, I can say a lot has been left behind as far as the implementation is concerned. Madam Speaker, if you look into the report, the mover made mention of health precautions cannot be effectively followed as required due to hunger and poverty. I don't know what he means by this. If you can buttress on this point, what the people that they interviewed, what they have said about this hunger and poverty, if you can throw more light into that. Because, Madam Speaker, I believe with the implementation of the Act, and we expected a lot to be done on the ground. And we expected you to inform us so that we can make an informed decision here. But by looking at the transportation, we all know that it's a challenge in this country. And you haven't given us any information as how people were suffering during this period of the 45 days, and what do you think Assembly should do as far as that one is concerned? Madam Speaker, coming to in the report also, it was made mention that some of the health facilities, like Basse, for example, they didn't have a thermometer. I don't know whether it's an infrared thermometer or a thermometer gun, and which I believe these tools should be available, if not in all health facilities, but the major facilities like Basse, they should have these facilities in place. Because we made these laws for us to be safe from COVID-19. But we don't make these laws to be lying there and when they are not adhered to. So what is the essence of government spending money on us to be coming here? Because these extraordinary sessions are very expensive to be sponsored. So once we come here, we make regulations, we make laws. I think we should be with the same line with the executive in terms of implementation. So, but we have seen the report shows to read that there is a big gap when it comes to implementation. Almost all the recommendations that we made here, there is lacuna in the implementation. And how do you expect us to come and make another decision without getting the feedbacks? It will be very difficult. Madam Speaker, coming to the markets, somebody made mention of it. At least there's flexibility in the markets in the urban areas. But in the rural Gambia, the markets that women can sell their vegetables are the lumos. Did you have an opportunity to go and meet those women in the lumos or in their various communities to hear their constraints? I don't know whether it was limited time, but I believe you should have done that engagement. That will help us also to make a decision as far as the markets are concerned. Because those women, they have perishable vegetables with them. And they spend a lot, their energy, the money that they spend. So at the end of the day, they have to throw it away because they cannot have good markets for it and they cannot consume all. Madam Speaker, coming to the collaboration between the central government and the local governments, like the councils. In your tour also, did you engage the councils to know, the steps that they have taken? Please, you can respond. I don't need your fingers. Did you consult the councils to know how much engagement have they done when it comes to implementation? Because we expect the councils also to play a role in the decongestion of the markets. So we need to see that in the report. Not only for them to complain of what they are losing in the Lumos, fine, but what have they done also? As a collaborative mechanism to see to it that places are identified in their council areas, so that they would not women or people will not be converged at one place. Then the purpose of the social distance is defeated. Madam Speaker, the police in the report also, it has been highlighted that the PPEs we are not available in certain security points. So these are the things that I think if you want us to work well, the security sector needs to be well equipped. So we need to know what is the problem. Is it that the security cannot be allocated with funds? So if there's a funding problem, Assembly need to know. So that the decision that we are going to make, we can ensure that the funds are available for relevant institutions to operate. We haven't seen that in the report. And I think that is very key. Before we come to make a resolution on the extension of 21 days, I think the regulations need to be, we have to make a thorough assessment. We have to make a thorough assessment and see the 45 days that we have, that we have granted here in this parliament. How effective was the 45 days? Before we go in for 21 days or 45 days, we need to have a thorough knowledge. So I believe that the committee was quick to make a recommendation by forgetting some of the key things that this assembly needs to be updated on. We need updates. But we cannot just say that we go in for 21 days when we don't actually know the progress of the previous 45 days. We need to be well informed. Madam Speaker, coming to the food packing, I expect that, in their tour also, they could have used it as an opportunity to see, whether the average Gambians are ready to stay indoors, whether the food is available or not. Because we need to get the information. Food in their houses, it will be very difficult to respect the laws. It will be very difficult for them to adhere to the rules and regulations. So this information will also help the National Assembly to see to it that, whether there is their need for extension or not. Yes, you make the Islamic Supreme Council and the Christian Council, but during your tour, did you consult the imams? Do you have an opportunity to visit a village and seek the opinion of the religious leaders? We should know that, because as other colleagues said, the imams, the people that we are representing, we are their mouthpiece and we must represent them here in this house. But I will reserve that portion until the Justice Minister comes up. Then I will have my message from my constituency. What is their take? Because I'm their mouthpiece, I'm going to speak on their behalf here. It's not about sentiment. It's not about my individual decision. It was a decision that I made with them. So it must be presented here. That's my contribution.